Hello, happy witching hour. It is High Priestess Jamila. And I was going to do some readings tonight, but honestly, I truly believe that we are going to have to really honestly stop giving so much attention to certain things. Okay? Because we have like transcended past so much silly stuff that I'm going to give it energy. Um, not going to do it. But I wanted to talk about witchcraft. And I want to talk about how it is a fact that witchcraft and witches outrank them all. Um, I was on here talking earlier about how psychic vampirism is, to me, it's a weak art. It's very childish. I've even seen a couple of channels on here and there's books actually out as far as talking about energy manipulation and pulling on people's energy, like I guess they're a newborn baby sucking off of their mama's breast or something. Um, and I didn't even bother to click on the video. I think that this is possibly like a new age concept. A lot of people are being conned and they are being scammed out here. Um, Especially when you look at a psychic versus a witch. Now, many of us are factually psychic witches. But as I was speaking about yesterday, a psychic is not necessarily a witch, and a witch is not necessarily a psychic. Two totally different things. A witch doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that does readings, but I feel that if you are a witch that knows divination, that if you are a psychic, that I guess that would make you, you know, more of a threat to other people. I guess that would mean that you have more gifts. Um, but being a witch is something totally different. And it's a very disturbing trend, and um, which is why some of my favorite witches that were on this website are not here anymore. And I don't blame them. I don't blame people for leaving this website. Honestly, it is the most ridiculous thing ever. Um, yes, you can definitely be a psychic witch. Absolutely. Yeah. But so think about it. Let's say that a psychic were to tell you, oh, you're going to lose your job next month, right? And let's say that, you didn't want the hassle or the inconvenience of losing that job, or, or you just, it's kind of like, no, I don't want that to happen. I like my job. A witch can step in, and it doesn't matter what a psychic says, those are circumstances that can be changed. So a witch can actually change an outcome. Plus, also, readings can be very subjective. That's just like if I do a reading saying, hey, such and such may happen, whether or not it's good, bad, or indifferent, a witch can step in and change that outcome. So, witchcraft as well as witches trumps all of it. Okay. I think there are some people that actually feel a little bit better about themselves spiritually, since witch is such a huge stigmatization. Being a witch is a huge stigmatization, which it shouldn't be. Okay. It's only to some, but yeah, absolutely. You can be a witch that has psychic powers. You can be a witch that can see into the future. You can be a witch that can see into other dimensions, or you can see a lot. But as far as like when it comes to predicting an outcome, a witch can change that outcome. And this is where people have consistently gotten duped, in my opinion. And I think also another thing that I don't like as a witch is people comparing this whole psychic vampirism to witchcraft, because it's two totally different things. Witchcraft is okay. You look at witchcraft, you can think of the universe, the earth, the trees, the ground, the dirt, the sun, the moon, wind and rain, the ocean. Psychic vampirism is like a molehill compared to that. And as a witch and as a woman and a witch, I kind of don't appreciate witches being reduced to that. Um, I really don't. I don't appreciate witchcraft within itself, which is, goodness gracious, it's the universe. Witchcraft is everything. Psychic vampirism is like I feel like I'm being punked. I do. I kind of feel like I'm being punked. I feel like something weird is happening. Almost like a sick joke is being played. Like I'm serious. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm ready to curse a lot of people. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Okay. I'm ready to curse some people because I'm getting really irritated with my spiritual beliefs being reduced the way that it is. And then I get really irritated when, okay, so for example, a person might resort to psychic vampirism and trolling and doing all of these weird things because maybe their spells don't work. I've seen people try to get into witchcraft, and I think that depending on your bloodline may affect how your witchcraft works and how well it works. But I have seen people cast spells, and if it doesn't work, here they are a year or two later saying, oh, that witchcraft stuff doesn't work. And then you see them sort of converting. I'm not converting. I feel like they reduce it. Well, maybe the reason why your spell didn't work is because it wasn't meant to work. Maybe you were doing things that had nothing to do with your path. And then they start to get angry at Hecate and, many monikers of witchcraft. And, because I've seen people do that. People are impatient. People want instant gratification. And witchcraft is not going to always bring you instant gratification unless you're looking for money. Money spells are some of the most easiest spell workings that I have ever done. Depends on how blocked up the person is. Money manifestation workings are very easy for me personally. Um, I feel, however, though, that there are a few people who have connected themselves with me somehow, whom are giving out misinformation. And I'm so ready to call those people out. I really am ready to call those people out on their bullshit. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'll let spirit handle those people, though. Hoodoo practitioner, Southern practitioner, voodoo, voodoo, conjure. It's all witchcraft. But a person that doesn't want to call themselves a witch, I don't know. I think that's awfully weird. Maybe they are a witch, but they've been binded. I don't know. It's so weird. And I don't know what the obsession is with males. What is up with men? Specifically on this website, trying to undermine witches. And see, when we get to lighting black candles on you and cursing you, I'm a good person, I'm a loving person, but I can literally have you curled up in a ball crying for your mama. Don't play with me. Okay? Seriously. I try to be the witch that I am, not a bitch, but a lot of men push you to that point. I don't know. It's very bizarre. It is. I feel like they keep moving the goalpost. There's a lot of frauds on this website. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I call them Hollywood witches, to where they're not actually is it okay to say fake magic? It's kind of like they're more so acting. It's getting really annoying. It really is. They're trying to compare psychic vampire and even Reiki and energy work to witchcraft. Oh, because they want to be accepted. Oh, I'm a Reiki master. That's even a totally different thing. That's one thing that was created out of witchcraft, but that's just one avenue. Yeah, it's almost like you can lay hands on somebody. Welcome to the club. I mean, I could literally call myself a massage therapist without having a degree in massage therapy. It's totally ridiculous. I am so ready to take a break from this fake website. I swear, I'm so ready, y'all. Y'all have no idea the amount of fake people, and I see why a lot of the witches, thank God their content is still up. I am so grateful for the witches that still even create content for this website because it is so many things that are just being forced up on people, and it's really annoying, and I don't have any association with it. Okay, I don't have any association with that crap. I'm a witch. I practice witchcraft. I cast a spell or do a ritual is absolutely going to work. It's absolute. Energy work is a totally different thing. It's not the same. Even though in witchcraft, yeah, we can manipulate energy. That's one aspect of it. One aspect. You see these people and the things that they do, and they wonder why, like, this is one of the things that I teach during my class. Yeah, we know about candle magic, but how do you actually get that flame to conduct that energy to bring that outcome? How do you actually do it? So many people have just absolutely no understanding of what we do. Do witches gang stalk other witches? No, that's a fraud. That's a fraud. There's no gang stalking involved in the craft. That's more of a social dysfunction. Okay. Yeah. Now it could be a witch that maybe she was born a witch, but she lost her way and began gang stalking somebody. That's a possibility. But that's not a thing amongst the witchy community. I am here to educate and give people some clarity. It is such an insult. I have a lot of respect for witches. I have generations of witches standing right next to me, all around me, and they are irritated. They are irritated. Let me tell you, everything that is going on. And, and it's, it's kind of like people act as if you have to destroy their lives before they get the point. And that's not what they want to do. These are some of the most sweetest, kindest people. Historically, they were also midwives that took care of children and loved their communities. They owned farms and land. They were not idiots, you know? And, from what I've been seeing, the insanity of certain associations and what people have done, it's like, goodness gracious, it's time for some of these people to go back to Sunday school. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah, there's no way. Like a lot of y'all that see certain stuff and see, I'm not gonna placate. I'm not gonna placate certain people on here. I'm not, because at this point we all know that it's fake, and we all know who the fake ones are, and we all know who the real ones are, you know. And I'm gonna tell you something. The ones on here, like some of the websites that you see, and they're really, really professional. They show their apothecaries, they show their work, they show their work. They are not hiding anything. And they'll say, oh, I just don't show my work. That's because they're not doing any work for real. That either they're not doing any work, or either they are just manipulating people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can sit here and show you my work right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is some work that I'm doing. I'm not going to get into detail about what it is. I'm just sick and tired of fake, fraudulent people. I really am. I am so freaking sick of it. And I can tell you that a lot of them that are hateful like that, they hate witches, and they actually hate witchcraft. And that's why they gang stalk. If you see, how do you pronounce your name? Dion Janae Harper. If you see somebody claiming to be a witch, gang stalking, or either hanging around, like literally hanging around, buddied up with gang stalkers, that is not an authentic witch. That's probably, if you see somebody gang stalking a witch, that's somebody that hates witches. And it's really sad. Like, it's absolutely sad. And that's just like a narcissist, or somebody that, or like maybe somebody that is, I don't even want to say narcissist. Witches shouldn't be talking about narcissism. Anything can be changed, anything can be healed with witchcraft, any and everything. And the person just has to accept the healing. Yeah. I see it a lot too. Well, I've only actually seen a few on this website claiming to be witches, and they're really not, in my opinion. I don't see it. Like I said, somebody with psychic abilities is not the same thing, but a witch can possess psychic powers. If you are a psychic witch, then that's just double trouble, as the cauldron bubbles. But otherwise, somebody being a psychic, and I've gotten so many phone calls, it's ridiculous. Phone call after phone call about a psychic claiming that they can do certain things and the spells and rituals not working. Um, it's not like that, and it's completely and totally, it is something that I feel that needs to be addressed by someone in the spiritual community, and I guess it's going to have to be me. I mean, there are quite a few witches on here that are very authentic, and it's very comforting when you go and look at these witches in comparison to people that are on here talking about conspiracy theories and and I've seen some of them predict certain natural disasters and stuff. If you were a witch, you may have been able to prevent that natural disaster. If you are a hoodoo, do y'all know how powerful hoodoo is? You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all a story of some of the miracles that I've done just for myself. I look up a few weeks ago and I look at my phone and there's a literal tornado warning. And it's been a while since I've dealt with a tornado. I grew up in Tornado Alley. This was before I came into my powers. I look up and it's a tornado warning, and I look outside and the sky's all white and cloudy, and I'm like, oh shoot. So I run up to the store, come back, and I did some work with some Casadilla powder. Storm passed right over the whole state of Georgia, literally. Called my ancestors, got rid of the storm within hours, and it just, we got some beautiful rain, and that was it. It stormed a little bit outside, and so psychics, where they may be able to see things, a witch is going to be able to handle that situation. Are you saying witchcraft is something inherited? I think that it is. I believe that I'm kind of on the fence with that, as far as, I do believe that there are certain bloodlines, and it may not even be a bloodline. It may even just be certain people that, if they got it, they got it. If it's a witch, it's a witch. That's just like, I guess you can have four or five girls or boys or both born from the same woman, and every child that's born to that witch is not going to necessarily be a witch. I guess it would depend on the bloodline, but yeah, it is. It's not something that everybody just has. I don't believe that. And I believe that a witch is a witch. I think that witches are some of the most amazing people that are capable of some amazing things, not just curses, not just hexes, but good things. Okay, doing good things for people. And so I want y'all to understand the difference, because I've actually had people contact me, and they're like, oh, I went to this psychic and she said that she could do so and so and so and so and so. And it was almost like, it was so weird. And so a psychic, or even an energy vamp, or either an energy manipulator, is going to be something totally different than a witch. Yes, witches can manipulate energy, but you're not just, first of all, it ain't just about manipulating anything. It's about doing things. It's about setting things in stone. It's so many different things that we do in witchcraft. And for me, one of the things that I am able to do is I am able to banish demons. I am able to command spirits. I am able to heal people. Okay. It's just so strange, and I'm tired of people trying to interpret this. If it's something that you don't understand, just don't speak on it. Stop speaking on my craft when you don't understand it. Hurting somebody's feelings, cussing somebody out, for example, is not the same thing as a curse. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like it just it because witchcraft trumps them all. It does. The reason why I say that is because when I say witchcraft trumps them all, I feel that witches have the capability of even dealing with planetary threats, interdimensional threats. But when I say trump them all, what I mean by saying that is as far as like energy manipulators, energy harvesters, psychics, people with certain psychic skills, for example. I mean, I guess somebody with certain psychic powers, they can meditate for 8 to 10 hours per day and try to project a perception out there, which would be considered using a psychic power, especially if you are empathic. A witch can thwart all of that. So, for example, Tiffany T. Hair. That's just like if somebody says, if somebody wants to go around and call you a whore, right? And you're not a whore, or, either they're just being judgmental, and a person is literally using their third eye to project this perception of you, okay? And your life is being harmed by this perception. A witch can either reverse or ward off that perception as well as clear up a lie. So, for example, if somebody tells a lie on you, a witch is able to debunk that lie. So, a lot of you guys that are being gang stalked and the gang stalkers are spreading falsehoods about you, a witch is going to be your best friend because a witch is going to be able to debunk those lies without saying a word publicly. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say witchcraft trumps them all. I've been through that. I've had weird gang stalkers stalking me, saying all kind of weird stuff. As a witch, I have been able to survive solely on my business, solely on my business for the past almost decade, even with these horrible, disgusting rumors going around about me. Why? Because I'm a witch. You see what I'm saying? So if somebody were to come out and say, "Oh, I saw Jamila run down the street with, what's an amazing lie I could say? Oh, I saw Jamila do this, 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 and that," or I saw Jamila shapeshift into a demon and don't trust her. She's a demon. And I'm not a demon, I'm a woman. I'm a witch. I have a period every month. I have given birth. Okay. I have a heart and a soul. I'm going to be able to do my work and have that cleared up. Ain't nobody going to be able to say or tell a lie or front or do a falsehood. And this is what's happening a lot. A lot of you guys' lives are being ruined by these types of fake people. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. 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 And then also, like, for example, okay, let's say Tiffany T. Hair, let's say that you wanted to buy a house by the ocean. And this is something that you want. I want to be able to get up every morning. I want to glance out at the ocean, or either the lake or something. And then somebody that thinks that they have this extra sensory perception comes out and they say, "Oh, you're not going to be able to do that. And I'm going to make you not do that. And I'm going to stop that." And they sit there and they meditate, or either they do some kind of drug, which that's another thing I want to talk about, people that do drugs. And I'm not talking about marijuana. I'm talking about people that do other drugs. Okay. And, these drugs may cause them to have contact with these gray alien beings and stuff. And y'all know my theory on that. Okay. You're going to move into that lake house or that beachfront property. if I get a hold of the situation, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen fast, regardless of what that person says or thinks. You see what I'm saying? So just having a psychic ability means means nothing. Somebody using their special psychic powers and they're gonna no, it's going to happen if I have anything to do with the situation. Do you see what I'm saying? So just using your vision. I mean, somebody can sit and envision me. For example, I could see in spirit. In spirit, it showed me very clearly that there was somebody that hates me because they ain't me. And they just sit there all day and imagine me dying. Kind of that there are some people that that can be considered to be a witch, but there's some witches, there is a hierarchy in witchcraft. If you're a silly witch that, oh, I hate her because you know she has big thick juicy lips and I hate her, and I think that she is sexier than me, and I'm just gonna think about her dying all day, or getting killed or something. And but at the end of the day, you're above that person. So So that's why you guys feel like, oh, they're doing death magic on me and they're doing all this stuff, or it could be that they may have done some kind of ritual. They think that if they take a poppet doll and they bury it at the cemetery, that means that you're going to die and all that stuff. And there is a way to transmute that energy, absolutely, of whatever their intent is. Okay. So let me check my sound. So I don't, here's my thing about it. When it comes to witchcraft factually makes life easier. When you see a witch, okay, my sound is fine. When you see somebody claiming to be a witch or practicing conjure, and it just every single day, they're just, it is a fact that witchcraft makes life easier, but they want you to believe that it's all this hell and fire and brimstone. And, for the most part, I ignore it. It's totally preposterous. It is. I have not been able to post anything on social media in a while because I have been knowing that there is someone practicing on me. I have not positioned myself to fight back. Okay, but I feel protected, just stuck. Yeah, you probably definitely do need some kind of road opener. More than likely, there, and I gotta tell you that a lot of y'all that have people that are just totally obsessed with you, those people are weaker than you. Come on now. Now your significant other, they're supposed to think about you all day and obsess over you, but just some random person in social media, what is wrong with them? They're crazy. What's up with the obsessiveness? That's a weak-minded person. I wouldn't be afraid of anything that they're able to do. I mean, unless you feel like you're physically in danger, but keep in mind that there are many, many, many spells, herbs, you know, there's so many ways of protecting yourself from being physically harmed. Even, witchcraft will protect you from physical harm. It does. And you're not supposed to just all day, every day, even when I deal with people that are currently attacking me, if I feel that it's a witch and that she's doing work on me, I kind of hum and sing and I mean, there are sometimes, I do have to channel that anger into the work I do. There's something that I do every single time I do my reversals or I send back negative energy or I break a curse. There are certain things that I do. But even with that, it just looks very peaceful. It's not stressful. I'm not just, oh, damn, I can't believe this. I gotta do it. No, you just kind of float through the process, and then you kind of kick back, it kind of I think that a lot of witches, I've noticed that a lot of us really do love the character of who is that lady in oh my god, with the Adams family, Morticia, she cracks me up. She's obviously a witch. The grandmother in the movie or the TV show is a witch, and they're just like, "Boop, bippity boppity boop," and yeah, while there are some rituals, I've actually done rituals. I've actually done rituals where it required for me to conjure up a bunch of energy. And what I do is I dance, I twerk, I dance. Okay. But like for example, if I felt like there was a curse on me, I'm gonna take all of that energy and I'm gonna be able to direct it where I need it to go with the intent that I have. It's not a stressful thing. So if somebody says, "Hey, I threw something at you to mess up your money or to do this," or I did a spell on you to get you evicted out of your house, which would never happen. But I did that to you. I'd be like, oh, okay. If my spirits felt like I needed to reverse it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be gleeful about it. Okay, well, let me send that back to you. Okay. All right. Have a nice day. There's no need for all of that stress and anguish and, oh, this person's hating on me. And I think that this is the expectation from a lot of people. Like, for example, there's this woman that keeps talking about me, and she keeps trying to make it seem like she's some kind of authority in the spiritual community, which we all know that she's not. But there's certain people that expect me to respond to this person. And I'm like, I don't want to respond to this person. This person is not worth a response. This person cannot touch me with a 10-foot candle. It's ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous. It really honestly is. You throw something and manipulate me and my husband to make him mad at me, I'm just gonna reverse it and send it back, and he'll be right there. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. This is not that big of a deal with and honestly, I think that I'm not even going to speak on that. Try to avoid hooking up with men that are in social media, though, because sometimes they can be very egotistical. Okay, it's ridiculous. It really is. And men that undermine the witch, I could have been totally evil. I'm trying to heal. It's sometimes it's good to try to heal a situation with love. A man that disrespects me in that manner, I could totally just like screw him up with it, within minutes, and just have him on his friggin' knees begging for mercy. It's kind of like you try to give men their self respect and their pride in the hopes that they will give you the same thing. And so you have a lot of that patriarchy thing. I've been running my business. I ran my business for years before I met my husband. And, there are times when he undermines me, and I just look at him like he crazy, because I'm like, well, I'm the one that's protecting you, baby. I don't understand why you doing that. So you said it's the demons on them for me. So when it comes to demons or either malevolent spirits, you have to not be afraid of them. And then also, I believe, I'm sorry, that you have to be able to work with both what they call the light as well as the dark. Okay. So if you have a bunch of demons after you, clearly that's a sign that it's meant for you to expand your spiritual knowledge, as far as, like, maybe having a conversation with the king of hell, which is who? Belial. They don't understand that. They don't understand, like, a lot of them. Does that make sense? Tell me what you think of that, because a lot of people are afraid, and that's understandable. This is the reason why I do work for people. Like, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. When I free y'all from these contracts, there are times when I have to have a conversation with Satan and say, hey, Satan, what's going on? I need you to, oh, okay, no problem, Jamila. You have a good day. I got you on that. Or if I need to go and speak to Satan and say, burn, make sure that this person that keeps doing this burns in hell, or, send hell to them or something. You know what I'm saying? And people really don't understand that. I think that they kind of do, but they're upset. So I don't know how y'all feel about that. I know that I've been speaking about that. Yeah, they do. A lot of, yeah, yeah. A lot of them are under mind control. A lot of them actually believe in like some of the fake stuff that they see in social media. I think the one thing that gets me is that they actually think that women look like blow up dolls or something. They think that all women are supposed to look surgically enhanced or something. It's totally ridiculous. They don't, they, and so I would prefer to have a man that doesn't talk to anybody in social media unless it's about business. I don't I would really really prefer that because you just never know. And you know what? I have quite a few clients that I'm working with right now at this very same moment who are dealing with men dealing with fake hoes in social media. It's terrible. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's an abundance of that going on. How do you balance your energy after doing your work? Well, I make sure that my energy is balanced before, during, and after. But I guess you could say, how do I ground myself? If I stay grounded, but if I need to ground myself, I focus on my root chakra. I focus on the root and the heart chakra. And it's almost like I push the energy down. It's kind of like a pump. When you pump something. So, like if you're pushing a button, or if you take like your hand and you push something down. So I push it all down. Okay. And I either do this by bearing down, like slightly pushing. Okay. And so I activate my root chakra that way. Okay. Just by kind of pushing down. And you can activate the heart chakra that way too. But it's to the point where you're grounding it and you're stabilizing the heart chakra and the root chakra. And then I pump it, and then I allow that kundalini to rise. And this is where that energy, my key energy, and my kundalini is working its way up through every single chakra up to the top of my head. That's how I do it. Does that make sense? But I for the most part, I stay grounded as far as being grounded. That's how I stay grounded. Okay. And a lot of times, what you can do is you can sit, Indian style and do that, or you can just do that laying in the bed. Okay. So you pump, it's like you pump downwards and then you pull up. That's actually a technique of doing your Kegels too. So, yeah, it's like Kegel exercises for the root chakra. Nope. I just do it. I just do it. I start to push that down, especially when an upsetting situation happens. I just push it down. If it's in the heart chakra, if I feel, well, first of all, for me to become ungrounded, for the most part, I don't know why. I feel like people are always trying to tap, tap, tap on my heart chakra. I don't know why, because that's very dangerous to mess with me. But they'll try to tap on my heart chakra all the time by messing with me and harassing me about my love life, which I know more about my love life than you do. I know how it's going to end. I know how it's going to begin. I know how it's going to be. Okay. But, if I feel like my heart is kind of like destabilized, then what I do is that bearing down on that root chakra is going to push the heart down. It's going to ground the heart. And you do that as you're exhaling, and then you pull up, and that way you're allowing, because and then also that's a way of keeping the chakras open. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's a way of keeping the chakras open. It is, yeah. So but I've gotten very good at it. There was times years ago when I get to argue with my husband. I remember my husband, this is how I knew he was powerful. I remember my husband, because we had a weird mating ritual when we first met each other, like when we first came across each other. And I swear one time that man gave me an anxiety attack. I was like, "What are you doing?" I called him. I said, "Please stop doing this to me, please, please." I was like, and he was just like, "What am I doing to you?" He's an asshole sometimes. And and I'm ready to go to the hospital. This was years ago. I was ready to go to the hospital. Um, and he used to do that to me, and so I used to like I mean I used to swear by valerian root and skullcap. I had to have valerian root and skullcap because that man will just have my heart. He used to have my heart just pounding. You know what I'm saying? I realized that he was opening up my heart chakra because he made me open up my sacral chakra to him too. And he was the probably the first and only and he was the first in a very long time and the last man that will ever open up my sacral chakra ever. Okay. But he used to mess with me all the time in social media. And he would just give me such bad anxiety. And I'll be like, why are you doing this to me? you know. And I used to always have to drink valerian root. You know what I'm saying? Because that was just like, he's the only man that can get me like that. The only man ever. And so it's not that's not nothing to brag about, because who the hell wants to have anxiety? But it definitely got my attention. It definitely got my attention. Okay. He's got my full attention whenever he wants it. It's ridiculous. Okay. No, but if, like, for example, before I do love work, because I've got to do a ritual for a client tonight. And I'm going to be doing a hoodoo jar for a client tonight. And if anything comes in through spirit, if anybody is attacking me, that is how I ground myself. And then sometimes I may even have to go to the bathroom. That doing that technique, what I just spoke to you guys about, as far as like, just, you don't push like you're having a baby, okay, but just, and kind of pushing slightly, focusing on the root chakra. It's going to instantly ground things. It'll even lower your blood pressure too. Okay. Well, valerian root and skullcap. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend mixing valerian root with skullcap unless you know how to measure the herbs. So if you're going to do valerian root, like for example, if you there was some energies that I was dealing with years ago that just, it would have like me, especially me and my youngest son, it would create panic, certain energies that I was dealing with. And so things like valerian root, skullcap, lavender, uh, hops flowers, hysteria, Okay. That will, you drink some of that or either burn it. And one of my favorite herbs that I've been using a lot, and I've had it in my arsenal for months, is blue violet. I don't, I'm going to come and talk to you guys about this stuff. I absolutely love this stuff. I actually made an oil out of it months and months ago, and I let it sit. And but I still have a huge goo gob of it. And this is some good stuff. Okay. I think you can even drink it as a tea. It'll definitely heal you of certain things and just, bring in those energies of healing and peace and, so yeah. But that's how I do that. And then sometimes I haven't done yoga in like forever. And that's because I'm being patient with myself. I had a rotten tooth that needed to be pulled out, and I am giving myself time to heal. I ain't trying to do nothing too strenuous, even though I will get on the floor and I will do some cobra. But I also like to do the I can't remember the exact name of this yoga move that I do, but it's where you I think they call it the boat rock or rock a boat. I think it's called that. But you basically hold your legs up and you like rock back and forth on your spine, and your and the bottom of the tailbone. And that will relax you so much and get that kundalini going, and you'll feel like a brand new person, and it may even help with back pain and stuff like that. So yeah, I love doing yoga, and my yoga app reminds me every day. It's like, it's been 300 days since you've done your yoga. Eventually I'm going to get back into it. I'm giving myself time to heal. I have a lot on my plate, and so I'm being patient with myself. I'm not going to kick myself in the butt. Definitely at this point with everything that I got going on. Yeah, I could stand to lose about, well, I probably have about 20 pounds of water weight on me, but maybe about 20 more pounds of, maybe 10. I'm really not that big. Okay. I'm not. Um, but I'm being patient with myself. There's no way that I am going to go and run on a treadmill. Sometimes that actually can have a opposite effect. It'll cause cortisol. So yeah, I prefer to do some yoga, maybe some light walking. I'm good with my body. I'm good with my body. I'm good with the way, you know what I'm saying? It just, I'm not gonna, because I had some people body shaming me because I put on a couple of pounds, and it's like, you're not gonna have me running a marathon on a treadmill. I don't care about you. I'm not a hamster. Sorry. Yeah, I'm being patient with myself because I honestly was very, very sick last year, at the end of the year. And I had to give myself time to heal from that because that was really, really devastating. I don't, normally the last time I had a tooth that I had to give to the tooth fairy, and that sucker kind of stayed in my body for far too long and it had to go. Okay. And and I feel pretty good, but it just, I think that it is just absolutely sickening, people trying to define witchcraft for people and trying to make it seem like they're in control of how witches feel. And I'm not cool with that. Like, are you trying to make me your enemy? Because I don't think you want me to be your enemy. That ain't cute. I would never try to. I don't want to make an enemy out of nobody. I don't want nobody to be my enemy. I don't want enemies. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. And You can do a lot with breathing, but also knowing the pressure points in the body as well. Okay. Like for example, if I don't feel well, now I do aromatherapy as well. So don't be sleep on that. Like for example, the smell of tea tree oil. I don't know what it is about tea tree oil. It's got that real earthy scent, and it to me it kind of resembles the smell of patchouli. I also do like the smell of camphor. Sometimes though I just want like a earthy, woodsy smell, and so I would go for patchouli, just to kind of ground myself. Things that are very grounding for you would be tea tree oil, patchouli, tea tree oil, and patchouli also is amazing for sending back curses to people. Patchouli in particular. I'm surprised that I don't have more of that, but I've got tea tree oil that I use, and I mean, believe it or not, just putting it in like your what is that thing called? It's called an oil diffuser. It's amazing. Just the smell of it. So, yeah. But, again, those are things, aromatherapy, in my humble opinion, is something that to me was, you know, I believe that it was created by the witches. Like when you burn something like tea tree or patchouli, or when you burn a herb or some sage. See what I'm saying? This is something that is going to be extremely beneficial to the mind, the body, and the spirit. And, because you really do need that. And this is something that witches have done for quite some time, especially with our history with midwifery, midwifery. When you say it's either midwife or midwifery. You know, we were able to, and see, my great grandmother, she passed away. Her name was Big Mama. She was a midwife, and so it just, I don't really know like what they are expecting out of witches, or what exactly they want, you know. Yeah, I don't want enemies either. I don't want people stalking me either. Like that doesn't make me feel relevant. If somebody's stalking me, that just makes me feel like cursing that person. I don't, you know. Hey Ziana, hello, hello. Yeah, yeah, seriously. So are you a hairdresser? Are you a beautician? Yeah, beauticians do touch people's lives. And, I think that it's important, uh, when you're working with people in that context to where you're touching the top of their heads, and, people are always going to remember the way that you make them feel, especially if you're working on somebody's head. Okay. Hello, hello, Ziana. So it really, really irritates me, the purposefully, them purposefully trying to stigmatize witches and constantly trying to debase us, and it being your own people. These people are supposed to be black people, and they're just constantly just jitterbugging, and it just irritates me. And they have no idea what they're talking about. They just really don't know, and they're doing some of the most cantankerous things, and they're calling it hoodoo and voodoo and da 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 da, and it just, their definition of it is totally different than mine. And it's like I said, I don't think that they're here to help people. I think that they're here to harm people. That's my personal opinion. Okay, cool, cool. Do you mind saying your location as far as like where you're located? That is so cool. If I used to, that I used to do hair. I still do my own hair, but I used to braid hair and do weaves and all of that stuff. My grandmother was a beautician. She had her own shop in her basement, like very professional. But that would be so cool. That is such a cool way of being creative. I would have crystals all over the place in my salon. I would have like crystals and just a very, very relaxing, very, very relaxing. Oh, cool. Cool. Well, if y'all are in Houston, Texas, make sure y'all stop by. What's the name of your salon? Is it Tiffany T. Hair? It's Shiva's Beauty Salon. Cool. Well, feel free to drop your info with me. I don't mind giving you a shout out. I need to go visit Houston. I don't travel much. I would have been able to a few years ago, but I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. You know, I've had people that are sort of labeled, quote unquote, labeled as narcissistic, and you know how narcissists are. They'll create something for you and then show up as if it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I would love to travel. I've had people telling me, "Oh, you don't ever travel anywhere. You don't go anywhere. You don't do this, and that." And it's like, well, first of all, I am healing and recovering from healing other people, including you. So, yeah. Anyway, it's all I know is that everybody deserves to feel appreciated. Don't y'all agree with that? Like, I feel that there are people that, I sometimes I do feel used. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Not by my clients, not in the least bit, but I do sometimes feel used, and I feel like people just do not appreciate me, and I hate that. I hate that. Nice. You know what? I was looking at B Love's life, and she showed her hair the other day, and I probably need to actually go because I would like for, well, my hair is actually growing faster now, but for 2 years it was like I had very slow hair growth, and I don't know, well, I do know what that was about. Um but B Love's life, she showed her hair, and you could tell that she could really, really use, because my grandmother was the same exact way. My grandmother could grow like she could grow hair. Like if you had a bald spot or something, that bald spot, you ain't gonna have that bald spot no more. So my grandmother was amazing like that. So that's so good. That's what's up. That is, do you are you really good at natural hair? Because I know that I wear my natural hair because I've noticed that people that go to hair salons and stuff to get their hair done, I've noticed that their hair is much healthier and thicker. I'd like to experience feeling appreciated one day on a personal romantic level. Yeah. People are taught not to appreciate, especially when it comes to witches. Like they are like it just they take everything for granted. They take everything for granted. And I'm not even gonna start complaining about that. But I do feel that I have felt used. I felt like people use me, use my energy, build themselves up, and then kind of just like not even as so much as a thank you. Like, well, thank you for doing that for me. It's like, yeah, it sucks. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because I've been here for a little over an hour. Thank you for coming, you guys. Thank you for listening to me complain and talk about this because it's really, really hard. It really is because I feel like, especially if you are a certain race, but race really doesn't matter. I have clients of all racial backgrounds that go through the same exact thing that I've dealt with. Same exact thing, but all of the struggle and the inner conflict and the inner crap, it's just like that's not what we're supposed to be experiencing as witches. For example, let me give you guys an example. Let's say that you want to let's say that you're living from paycheck to paycheck, right? And you're kind of like barely, you know what I'm saying? You feel like you want money saved up and you're kind of struggling financially. You come and you do the money spell, or either you come to me or you do the money spell yourself and it's done. What are you stressing about? Like, I do my work and I don't stress. You might as well just not practice witchcraft. Why would you cast a spell and then stress about it? You know, that's just, I mean, when I do any spell, I cast it, or when I do any working or ritual, I do the work and I relax, like, to me, that's better than anything. It prevents health problems, it prevents a lot of crap and arguing and people stressed out about this and about that. Why get into witchcraft? And I've noticed that people on this website, they're supposed to be witches, yet they act like they're fighting over one client. What is this about? You do your work, you set your intent, and you relax while it manifests. I don't understand these people. What is the point in practicing witchcraft if you're still gonna you might as well just not even practice. You might as well just not even practice. What is the purpose if you're going to sit there and stress about it? So I do counsel my clients to where I'm like, listen, I want you to relax and let the magic happen. When you tense yourself up, you're not allowing the manifestation to happen. That's just like with me. When I get ready to buy my lake house, I'm gonna want to put maybe 20 or 30 or 40 grand down. I'm gonna do the work, the money working to manifest it, and I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh my God, am I gonna get the money? Is it gonna come? It's gonna come. You might as well not even be practicing witchcraft. What is the purpose? Who who does that? I know I don't. So once I set an intent to do something and I'm at a point where I'm gonna do it, that's pretty much the way that I manifest. I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh God, what's going on over there? What's going on over there? Somebody arguing with me about something in social media is not gonna stop my work from working. Like, is that what these people really? They don't know anything about it. So you end up still stressed out. Right, exactly. These people will claim that they are witches and they will cast things and then stress about it. Obviously. Obviously. Like I don't understand it and I don't want to be associated. I don't. I don't want to be associated. I'm sorry. Not I I can't rock with you. That's just like, right now I'm working on erecting my coven. We're not going to be the run around social media nervous crying because I'm sorry if you're arguing with somebody constantly every single day, or even if you're having somebody, if you're doing it through a third party, that means that you are still crying and arguing. You're not manifesting anything. You don't believe in your magic, or either I think it's kind of ridiculous. I really do. And so, yeah. Anyway, yeah, you do the work and you keep it moving. That's just like if you do a money altar or something, and you're constantly looking at the money altar and you're like, "Is this gonna work? What is this gonna do?" When it Patience is a virtue, you know. It, I digress. Thank you for listening. Blessings to you all. You're very welcome. And I will see y'all later. Okay. I'm just hoping things get better on this website because there ain't nothing that even resembles, witchiness with some of these people. And they do trail behind me. I have stalkers that claim that they're witches, but it don't feel like it. It don't. There's this one channel that I watch on here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to go. That every time I watch her videos, it's just like, you just feel extremely grounded. And it's just like, oh my God, I just enjoy this content. You know what I'm saying? And it puts you in the mood for Halloween, and just like, I'm just so fuzzy. Witchcraft gives me that warm and fuzzy feeling. It does. Even if I'm doing dark magic, still get a warm, fuzzy feeling. I don't know. All right, guys. I will see y'all later. Blessings. Bye bye.